Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. So let's talk about what happened at the reunion of Married at First Sight in Mzansi for the rest of the couples, because yesterday we only talked about Tumi and Zato, just the fact that they're no longer together. Tumi is back in Dubai, Zato is here in South Africa. Everything that happened with the car accident, him going to live at her mother's house, all of that, still the relationship didn't work and they've gone their separate ways. So when they start the reunion, they say that it's been a year, which my interpretation of that was that it's been a year since they got married, meaning that they must have gotten married last year around August, because I believe that the reunion was short last month, if I'm not mistaken. So now, with us, it's like, for us, it's only been a few months because we've been watching them for a few months, but they've actually been together for the whole year. So now, you guys, they were talking about the first night. If any of the couples did do the deed on the first night, I don't even understand why you would be expected to, you guys. This person is a stranger. Yes, you got married, but it's a stranger. And I wish that I had information in terms of whether they are required to do any tests, because guys, listen, nowadays even kissing is a risk, even kissing somebody is a health hazard. So I'm just imagining meeting a stranger now today. Now I'm willing to exchange saliva with a stranger, not to mention the other fluids, So I do wonder, you guys, if they are required to do tests, because I am kissing no stranger. It's strange enough you are marrying a stranger, but to have to be required to do the other deeds. Anyway, so I understand the couples that decided even to not be in the on the same bed, because yes, the experts have checked on these people, but they can miss some things. You could just be married to a serial killer or a serial rapist, You never know. So you still have to judge for yourself if you can trust this person to even do anything with them. So Kuto and Dee are still together. Kuto has met this son, but it sounds like Dee has not met Kuto's daughter. Okay? And also Dee has not met the baby mama. Now, the way that Ukuto explains it is that because he doesn't live with his daughter full time, it's not really urgent for the son to meet Dee, which doesn't make sense. And he says that the baby mama is not worried about Dee that much, because Dee is not going to be living with his daughter. I'm like, I don't know, it doesn't make sense. Even if somebody is going to spend one day a year with your child, you still want to know who they are. You still want to fill them out and see if you can trust them, even if they're just going to spend a day or two with your child a year. So that explanation just didn't make sense to me. So basically what Ukuto is saying is that it's more important for him to meet Dee's baby daddy, because he is going to be raising Dee's son with Dee, because they're living with Dee's son full time. But on his side, it's not as urgent, because Dee will not be living with his daughter full time. I'm like, that thing doesn't explain. If you are my baby daddy and you are with somebody, and that person at some point will be spending time with my kids, I think that I should meet that person. Okay. So I didn't understand that explanation. Now, I guess they were just feeling it out with how are things now with Dee and Kuto and the baby daddy, because the feeling was that Kuto had some type of insecurity when it comes to Simpure, who is supposed to be Dee's baby daddy, because Dee mentions him a lot and they fight a lot, and that affects their relationship. It looks like Kuto has tried to sort of be friendly with him, but he's not receptive. There was a point where I felt like Dee wanted to get back together with Simpure, but I'm starting to feel like Simpure wants Dee back, because I think that if somebody is married to your baby mama and they are going to be spending time together, you are going to try and be open to getting to know them. And the fact that he is not doing that, and he's not even wanting to have conversations. I feel like it's him just being bitter a little bit about the fact that he has gone on and moved on and married someone else. And I totally agree with you when she says, listen, I don't want this guy back because I'm the one that broke up with him. So if I wanted him, I would have stayed with him. So I feel like the guy is the one that actually possibly wants D back. Okay. Listen, they got into the fight that D and Kuto got into. You remember they were fighting because I guess at some point D didn't want to talk, and then Kuto ended up giving her silent treatment. There was that fight. There was also a fight about the threesome apart. Listen, you guys, I know that Uboitsepo has presented herself as being very matured in the whole experiment. But I do feel like that part of the experiment where Uti was upset about the fact that Ukuto had chosen D as the person that if he had a choice to choose another wife, who would he choose? Because D was already upset about it, you know. I do feel like it was a way of getting back at, or she wanted to upset Uti by, even after Uti is already upset about the fact that Kuto has chosen Boitsepo, she still went on and chose Ukuto to whatever, because they said, who are you going to F and who are you going to marry? And she still chose Ukuzo. So I do feel like it was just because they don't like each other. I feel like it was intentional on Boitepo's side to do it that way, to still choose Kuzo, because she knew that they was going to get upset about that. But anyway, you guys, I don't even think that it's relevant now, because they stayed together, they stayed with their people. But you guys, what question did they ask? There's a question that they asked the couples: who would you choose? I think it was a question like that. Listen, you guys, I need Kuto to get to a point where he chooses his wife, no matter what. No matter how they ask you, okay, you are with your wife. You are not going to be given a choice to choose somebody else. Those choices are gone. You are now a married man. Those choices are gone. I love Kuto, but I need him to get it through his skull that his only option ever now, okay, if you wake him up in the middle of the night and said, do you want coffee or your wife? He should say his wife, okay? Do you want to go to the gym or spend time with your wife? It's the wife, okay? Do you want Beyonce or your wife? You want your wife. I need Kuto to get to the point where the only option and the only choice for him is his wife and his wife only. Anytime, every time, you know, in heaven and earth, in the east, in the west, the only like Kuto needs to understand it, you know, the only choice now, if you have to choose between your family and your wife, it's your wife, okay? If you want to choose between wimpy breakfast and your wife, it's your wife. Whatever, you know. If you have to choose between having electricity and your wife, you choose your wife. Your wife is your only choice now. So I need him to stop even the consideration, you know, because everybody else is choosing their partner, and there he was choosing Zitobile. I can't even remember what the question was, but I was like, Kuto, it's your wife now. Get it through your head now that the only option you have now is your wife, okay? Now, you guys, listen, while they were still talking about the whole thing that happened with the games, because they got into who was asking what questions, okay, I don't understand this thing of them wanting us to believe that production didn't have anything to do with the questions that were asked, because definitely they did. If none of the cast is claiming some of the questions that were asked, then it definitely was production. So I don't know. I don't understand them wanting us to think that they never asked any questions. And also they were not trying to cause drama. I think that they did ask some of the questions, and some questions were meant to start drama, and they did just that. That is when Tobilege started crying, you guys. I do feel like it really was the attention thing, because they were going to get to Zitobile and ask her about her relationship, what's happening with her relationship and all of that. But she just couldn't wait, because she has that syndrome of wanting things to be about her. Now, you guys, I watched the the reunion again yesterday after I had done a video about Tami, because I was so confused by how Tami was acting at that reunion. And as much as Utami was not like the best guy for Sitsobile, he wasn't like the worst person just as a person. He had those things like he would say he's a Zulu guy and he thinks his wife should be doing things for him and all of that. But during the experiment, you guys, Tama was trying to be a good person. He was bothered by the fact that no matter what he did, it wasn't good enough for Zitobile. No, Zitobile was ending up getting hurt. Zitobile was ending up crying because she wasn't getting what she needs from him. Tami was not a bad person during the experiment. But the person that he was at the reunion was very different from the person that he was during the experiment. So I do wonder, you guys, that if it was a good idea to include him at the reunion, even though he wasn't physically there, because sometimes he couldn't hear them well and all of that. And also, you guys, they did talk about the head trauma situation with him having been in the coma for the whole month. So I do wonder if that hasn't affected him at all, because, guys, he was a different person at the reunion. The way that he was answering the questions, the way that he answered the question about Boitsepo. Yes, they don't get along with Boitsepo, but it's just like, so I don't know, you guys, that part of it really confused me. Utami just really confused me at the reunion, because I was like, but this is not the person that you were during the experiment. What is going on with him? I also didn't like the fact that Usebenzile just sat there and said nothing when this guy was going off on his wife. Like I was waiting for him to say, listen, bro, like we're friends and everything, but you're not gonna speak to my wife like that. I mean, at best he should have done that. Like, don't just sit there and listen to somebody speak about your wife like that. I didn't understand. I didn't understand why he just kept quiet, But yes, you guys, I don't know what's going on with Utami. But I won't get into what's happening with him and Uzitobilo, because I had spoken about it, and Utobila made it clear Tami, even though Tami is still wearing his ring. And at some point he was like, yeah, it's over. But at some point he was also like, he would like for them to get back together. So it's a mess, you guys. Now, with Boitsepo and Sebenzile, they're still together. They have moved to Cape Town together. They are working on that Lobola situation. Sometimes I'm trying to figure out, Sebenzile, does he have money or does he not have money? Guys, Ilobolo is a lot, but then at the same time, it's not a lot, if you know what I mean. Ilobolo is a lot, but it's not a lot, Like, if usufuna global and ungakwazi global. So sometimes I can't figure out, and there's nothing wrong with saying I'm not ready right now. I'm not ready right now. I just feel like we want to work on some things before we make that decision. So with the sevens of WhatsApp, but they make it the Lobola thing, they make it about money, why they haven't done it. But I do wonder if it's about money, So I don't know. They confuse me there, but it's good that they're still happy together. And it looks like they still handle things between the two of them very maturely, okay? With Kuto and D also, confused me, because she's made a decision. She's staying with Kuto. But then when they mention Ilobolo, she says that she wants to finish school first. But I'm like, you already are with this guy. You are living together. He's raising your child. What difference does it make that you still want to go to school? What difference is it going to make? Because if you get married, you're still going to stay with him and all of that, So him paying Lobola, there's no condition that somebody can't pay Lobola for you while you're still at school, because you already are living together. What is that? So with Kuto and D, I was trying to figure out, is it really about D finishing school, or, and also they have that thing where I don't think they've agreed on whether they want more children or not. It would be cute though if they have their biological child and then they have, but I wish that they could stay with both their kids. Like if they could stay with both Kuto's daughter and D's son. Okay, now Kumo and Sabang. Now we finally find out that Kumo works at the airport. So works like weird hours. Like sometimes she works from 4 a.m. to 1 p.m. because I was curious about it. I had heard that she works at the airport, but I wanted to know what kind of job does she do that was so challenging that she couldn't show up for most of the scenes, because I started feeling like this one was just with another man when they were supposed to shoot these scenes. That's why she was missing. She had 2 husbands or 2 boyfriends. So she works weird hours. So most of the time she was tired when she was supposed to shoot, or she had to rush to work, all of that. So they were not spending time together. Anyway, now we realized that actually some of these couples were coming together to shoot, but they were not necessarily spending a lot of time together. They were making it look like they were spending a lot of time together, but they were not. And that couple is Kumo and Sabang. Kumo and Sabang were playing us, and they were playing us big, you guys. I don't know. I know people are happy that these two are back together because people thought that they were a perfect couple. I also thought that out of everybody, I thought they were a good match. Utabang no Kumo, and I also thought Usebenzile no Lona were a good match, even though I wasn't sure at the beginning if they were giving us a real. Okay. And then Udin, no Kuto, no Tami, Beno Zitobila, I didn't think they were good. They were a good match. So Kumo and Sabang, I thought they were a good match at the beginning, but I just feel like Kumo, not Kuto. Kumo is a player, guys. I feel like Usabang usazodlalwa kakhulu if he's not, because even when they're explaining the situation of her having another man, okay, fine. Why are you going on Married at First Sight, but you haven't finished whatever it is that you need to finish before you commit here? And also, when they were getting the answers from them, they didn't get the answer of the fake profile that she created to advise the guy to get back with her. So I feel like Untombo was very easy on Kumo book because I wanted to know the details of that relationship. But I do feel like Kumo has this thing, what's my answer the question? She goes around and around and around and confuses you and makes you feel like you want to move on to the next question before you even get the answer to the question that you asked. But I feel like she answered nothing. The only thing we got was that they decided to get back together, and they've been living together for 6 months now. And they're giving the relationship a try. But we still don't know what happened with that situation. And also, I wanted to know about that whole catfishing situation because she had created a profile to advise another guy what he should do to get back with him, with her. So I'm like, no, we're not going to just pass that situation like that. We want the details of what happened with that situation before we can move on. So we never got the answers. So I don't know, you guys. I guess because they did get along, even though Kumo is saying that she wasn't in love. But guys, were the others in love? And what is being in love like? Because most of them said very early the I love yous, you know. I don't know. I guess people fall in love very easily. I guess. You know, she wasn't in love. I don't think that anybody can expect going to be head over heels a good 3 months being with a stranger and in marriage, because marriage itself is challenging. So I don't know, you guys. I don't know. Kumo and Tabang might work, but they're going to be playing each other. I think now and then they're going to have to be checking each other's phones because these ones I don't trust. They're going to be honest with each other. But anyway, guys, it was good to see that most of the couples made it. And I feel like had the experts really done a thorough job with all of the couples, if they didn't take that risk of wanting to have a couple that was going to give the show drama, all of the couples would have worked, because I feel like every single person that was on the show gave their best, you know. But it's just that some of the couples were not matched the best, you know. The experts didn't do the best job at matching them. I do feel like Uzitobile, had they really looked for somebody that would match her personality, the marriage would have worked. I feel like it's the same with Tammy. If they really made an effort to find somebody that would work with Tammy's personality, then that marriage would have worked, because I do feel like even Tammy gave his best, okay? So yeah, I am looking to see next season what they do different. I don't want to see a couple that is like Tammy and Zitobilo, where you can just see Laba, they were matched for something different from then finding the love of their lives. I don't want to watch that. I want to watch the show to really like, because we mostly when we're watching the show, we're rooting for the couples. We want them to make it. We want them to figure things out. What is the point of that if we know that the experts already knew that these people were not going to make it? What is the point of us even watching that show and being like, oh my God, I hope they figure things out and all of that, if really the purpose of putting them together is just for drama, you know? So I hope what's in season 2 of Married at First Sight Mzansi is going to give us like genuine matches. But I do want them to reconsider the experts though. I do want them to reconsider the experts, you know? I don't know who... I don't know who. Okay, I need to think about it. Who are the people that... It's just that we haven't done shows like this in South Africa where we've seen people work on such shows in different... in other shows, but working on something similar where we can say this one will be good to do the show. But we definitely need other experts, you know. Maybe they even need to give us the couples before time and give us the profiles, you know, somewhere, and we watch their videos. And as the public, we say this one and this one. Maybe we must match and they must consider our, you know, contribution, because by better lab. But again, I'm so happy, you guys, that the 3 couples did make it. Anyway, you guys, this show has been fun to watch. Oh, it's been so much fun to watch. I was looking forward to all of my Sundays with this show, so it really was just a good one. Okay, anyway, you guys, thank you so much for taking this journey with me as we wait for season 2 of Married at First Sight Mzansi. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like it before we're gonna share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers in Tanda.